Welcome yet again. Oh my, oh my, oh my. It's another round table, guys. Welcome to Redemption X, and we're going to be quick firing our way into understanding even more around sexuality and couples. And I'm joined by the best of the best. We've got Lynette with us today on this roundtable edition. I know, Rick, you have joined us before on this. Like I always say, you've just become part of the furniture. The resident DJ of the house. And speaking of DJs, Jimmy, how's it, my man?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm here again.
Are you good, buddy? You're back again.
Yeah,
Each time I think about it, I think our last round table session around, do not let your wife stop you from finding, what did you call it? Your soulmate. But today we're looking at soulmates, we're looking at partners, but we're looking at the sexuality side. And we want to understand more. Like I said, we've got Rick here and we've got you, Lynette, here, continuing from an amazing talk we've had. I want us to talk about this, and I know, it's kind of taboo with us as gents. Mm-hmm. We're always scared to kind of say, "Eish, Dwana, it's not waking up, this thing," to put it mildly. It's not doing the things. I'm not launching. Elon Musk has not paid me. I'm not launching. What is it? And I'm going to pitch it to you first. Erectile dysfunction. Why is it so taboo? And what have you, in your experience, seen causes that?
Yeah, I think it's taboo because it goes towards male shame and also lack of education. And so sexual function is such an integral part to a male, and also we can see it. So women can hide it a little bit. We can hide when we're not around.
Oh yeah. With us, it's there.
It's an external thing, so it can be witnessed. So you don't have a recovery time. You don't have something that you can hide from us. We can feel it, we can see it, and so can you. And so it's a very sensitive, shame-based thing for men. What can cause it? Many different things.
Yeah.
So your health, being if you're diabetic or cardiovascular concerns.
Medication.
Medication, side effects from medication, SSRIs, antidepressants. There's loads of medication that can influence this actually. So there's the medical and the clinical side, and then there's a psychological side in terms of either it's not the type of sex that I enjoy, or there's not adequate stimulation for turn on, or I've exposed myself too much to porn or the industry, the sex industry, and so I don't actually, that's my vision of sex, that's how I see sex, and so this I find mediocre at best. Loads of reasons. The most important part is to be very realistic about where are you health-wise, where are you relationally wise, what is your history with your own sexuality, with your own arousal, and then take it from there.
That is deep, and it hits us home,
of course,
as men, because like she's saying, it's very visible.
Yeah,
it's like you're standing there taking your pants down, and she can see that it's not doing the things, Baba. Yeah. What's going on? Little Johnny is not so getting big no more.
and I like the way she's putting it. So though there's the medical side of it, in terms of the physical, how you take care of your body, your health wise, but there's also the mental side of it. I've had men in my sessions talk about, when I sleep with my wife, to erect, I have to think of another female.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I've heard that before.
You understand?
So I've experienced that.
Tell us more.
That's how I was thinking about Halle Berry.
It's like at my age, I was thinking about Cindy Crawford, bro.
The mind is a very powerful object, and that's where it all begins, because if you can't see your partner right, you won't even erect. And I think this also hits a lot of married men who've been in marriages for a very long time. They get used to the physical appearance, they become comfortable, and then one day the wife is like, let's go and do it, and it's just a routine and he can't erect. But the minute he steps out, the erection is phenomenal. It's 10 out of 10. And you're asking yourself, what's going on here?
You're like, hey.
I think it's also on that, sometimes I just want to have sex and I don't want to work that hard for it. And the parameters of a relationship, generally we have to work for it. You have to work and woo me and things.
Hey, we work for it.
Unfortunately, there's lots to be said around that, but sometimes we just want to have sex, and I'm just fatigued that now you're gonna
no effort needed.
You're going to hold against me these
That would be a quickie.
And she's right. You're both right, because you get those moments where you're like, if I can just get one out.
Yes.
I just want to knock it out the park. Don't ask me. No foreplay. Just there, Baba. Go on, sharp.
That's the power of sexual tension.
Yeah.
You know, sexual tension wants something to be sorted out now. And it's strange that women in that moment can lubricate like this.
Yes.
And men as well, especially during ovulation. You know, but there's that non-ovulation period, which is the post menopause. Where now their body's no longer calling the man like it used to. You know, their skin gets brighter, their breasts get bigger, their body's more firmer. There's just that season the woman just looks beautiful, and she's hungry for sex as well, because that's the way her body is made. However, imagine if the man can't erect during that scenario. You've got problems. Yes, it actually does. What experiences have you come across there?
Because if you hit, so I'm in menopause, I have
you don't say.
Big time. But these rich experiences now is like, okay, first hand is really different.
No, but seriously, like I'm thinking you're like in your 20s. I mean.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. we have to visit one another more. So when generally the woman hits it, somewhere in her 40s, later 40s. But that's when male have testosterone decline. So from the age of 40, you're losing nearly a percentage of your free testosterone every year. So you're looking at a male that has less testosterone, most likely, if it's general image, and you're looking at a female that is most likely somewhere in a menopausal thing. So that's going to need a completely different interaction. The requirement or the criteria to get to sex is different now.
You know, this explains something.
But I want to understand. You know, with that said, do you think when it comes to, the foreplays and stuff, is it really necessary or every time? We just
what do you want to say, my man? You're like, I'm tired, man, we foreplay.
So you're gonna like my response, right? So there's definitely a space for a quickie. There's definitely a space for a quickie, and sometimes the quickie looks more like a dedication to the us or to the me than it does towards you, and it's a little bit
true.
Are we going to do you feel like sex? No. Do I feel like sex? No. Let's do it.
Let's quickly bathroom.
But that's a relationship thing, and it really is meant for a quick connection and to support a deeper sexual connection, not too long from there. So that's just to take the pressure off. I almost want to call it Friday sex, where by the Sunday we can have proper sex. But can we just
Friday sex? I'm coining that.
You're going to use it. Let's just get the pressure off. Get it, but you can't. You have to look at a ratio. If you always have quickies, you're looking at low quality.
Of course.
Nothing is going to drive it. I'm not going to be pulled to have sex because there's nothing in there for me.
It must become a ritual. Sex must be a strong ritual in certain instances. Obviously, your body will have certain needs at certain times. Women in menopause, women pre-menopause, in menopause, and post-menopause function different sexually.
True.
And so what happens is, pre-menopause, when they are reaching their stages of menopause, they don't lubricate as much anymore. You know, and that's where you find they'll be having sex, and halfway through the sex, she just dries up.
But now, you know, you get to get partners whereby one has a high sex drive and then the other one is just, you know, if I have it once a week, I'm good.
Yeah.
Don't ask me for a lot of, you know. How have you come across a situation whereby couples, you speaking to couples who are going through that? One has a high sex drive, one has a low sex drive.
I'm sure she's come across a lot more than me.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about libido is often driven by your perception of your spouse first.
Yeah.
I'll give an example. So we had one brother that came in who was struggling with his wife. I don't see her the same. She's gained weight. She's done all these types of things, but she wants sex. You understand? And I'm like, but I don't want to give it to her because my libido's running down because of the way I perceive my partner.
We're visual creatures.
Exactly.
Keep that in mind as well.
And so I'm like, no, man. Maybe you need to look at exercising a little bit with your wife to try and encourage her to get to that point so that she can stimulate your mind before the body gets stimulated. So it didn't work. However, he went out. When he went out, he said, you know what?
Always a solution with us.
I don't care now anymore about my libido's back. But I'm like, but you need another person now to actually run that libido. And I'm like, but that's not going to work, man.
Nah.
Why don't we fix the wife first?
Yeah.
Maybe she's got a self-esteem issue. Maybe she's got, you know, a crisis at work and she's ending up like this. Because you can get overweight in 6 months.
Yep.
True, yeah.
Or even under.
I'm telling you, you can, and you see, women's body absorb food different from men. And something that a lot of people don't understand.
Very true.
A woman can gain weight much quicker than a man. And a man will look at the woman and say, yeah, but just go lose it. To lose that stuff.
You say it's like just take off 2 inches there, 5 there. Tomorrow you are sharp. No, it doesn't work like that.
No, it's a mammoth effort, and also remember we feel it. And so if something like weight, for instance, so if I know I've gained weight, then I am much slower to expose myself to you or to my partner.
It's a light switch issue. Switch off the lights.
Big time. But you know, the thing around libido, what we forget is there's libido in everything. You have a higher appetite than I do. You want to go on holiday more than I do. So there's essentially, that's a discrepancy in libido for holiday, for this. And so there we communicate about it. But when it comes to sex, this is now something that we actually don't know how to communicate about. And so there can be these organic reasons as to why. There can be all sorts of reasons as to why. But fundamentally, we actually need to explore it. We have to talk about it. So if it's not that important to me, it's just not that important to me, then...
You're so right. But what about sexual compatibility now?
So that's the... So...
You're touching on something.
Sexual compatibility.
Again, no, you're not my type sexually.
So here's the thing. So I ask couples a question around arousal type. There's 5 types of arousal types, and we don't know this because this is not included in just general knowledge. So the 5 types is sensual. So I'm turned out when it comes to the senses. So people think that's vanilla sex, but it's only vanilla sex. I almost want to say, if you haven't upskilled the sensual, then anticipatory. So that can be sexting. It can be, I look forward to you. So before you just kiss me, that's so arousing.
Yes. Let's build it up.
Yes. There's some ideas there.
Get that erection going.
I'm ready.
See how ready you are, for instance, if a partner goes to a restaurant without underwear. Hello?
Yeah, no.
Yes, that was easy.
No, we are visual creatures. Even our imagination gets visual when it comes to things like that.
Already, what a small thing. Then the next one is penetration. But penetration mustn't be confused with lazy sex. You know, but this is basically people are highly, sex is fulfilling any sort of penetration. Then there's in the taboo. Kinky. Kinky
BDSM type stuff.
So this is the
think. That's what people think.
Don't ask me how I know, but yeah.
Like, I know what. So.
Yeah, blame Lynette.
Yeah, she introduced me to something. So taboo is, remember, it's social also. So whatever is taboo for you. So that's the size of Canada. That realm is really, really big. And then the last one is shapeshifter. You can shift into any of them. So if my libido is low, maybe we're not having the type of sex that I'm enjoying. Maybe you're, and it could, even for a high desire partner, it can go into a low desire because we're not doing what you're enjoying. So where there's discrepancies, one of the really valuable thing is check type of sex, that's that compatibility, because we've got to find a middle ground for the two of you. Otherwise we're going to run into trouble.
It's like going into this thing we spoke about.
Yeah.
You know how guys come back, we're chilling, having drinks, you're like, yo, Donna, I was like, yeah, I could tell she was amazed by the things I was doing. Meanwhile, she was bored, because that's not her type of
But
thing.
with that said, let me ask Lynette, does size matter? Let's put it to rest now. Because now we're discussing that erectile is dysfunctional, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But does size matter? Because now people
The
have turned
age-old
this.
question.
Yeah, let me hear Lynette's view. I've got some experience.
I want to hear your views
from
as
the
well.
office.
I'd so love to hear your views. I'm going to run through mine to yours. So I actually, I went to research papers for this very recently because I wanted a scientific answer to this, or perhaps indication, clarity. It is sometimes it's a cultural question. So fundamentally, no, but skill does and angle does.
Come on.
It's not the size.
Yeah, that's what I want.
It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion in the ocean.
So I'm going to throw in just a quick tip. Use pillows under that bum.
Hey!
There's your skill for today. But there is... Yes, I know. It's like, there goes the sales. But there is a cultural element, especially in the African culture. So where... And I say this with caution, but I say it bragging. Some African women specifically are taught that it has to be penetration. There is no other sex unless there's penetration, and that penis has to be big. Now, I can't tell you what the percentage of those women are. That I don't know. But when you say, there is, but yes, it's a belief, it's a perception maybe. It's and I think you will say far more on that. But that's not the general consensus amongst the women.
It's like we were talking about the reasons, things like the stuff we spoke about when you go to your province.
Let's hear Rick what
in big bottles.
So remember, I have counseled virgins. And I have counseled people who've been in the game for some time.
I like how you put it. People in the game.
Why are you cancelling virgins?
No, because they're about to get married.
That's a good question.
Because they're about to get married, you understand?
Okay.
So I know some of them, they go through these traditional processes where they check. Even in the Zulu kingdom, they even give you a certificate to say that she's a virgin before the lobola process. However, most women that are virgins, so we'll counsel them, they get married, and then they come back for a session. When they come back for a session, I will ask them, how was your first experience? And you'll find the woman say, all of the virgins I've come across, they say one answer, it was too big.
It's your first experience. What did you expect?
But that's the thing. It was too big. I've never heard any woman from my experiences, right, that has come and said from a virgin perspective,
it was small.
It was too small.
Compared to what?
You should be a virgin. So they don't have something to compare to. You understand? In terms of their experience. So now when we come to the world of the juggernauts that have been there. You understand? So now you be like
the legends.
The legends, the returned soldiers.
It was too small.
What's going on here? You understand? So now when you do post-marital for those ones, and they're about to get married, probably second or third, size is a factor now. Because now remember, and you'll correct me here if I'm wrong, they say a vagina is more sweetest during the 35s up until the 40, I think 42 or 43. They say it's the softest, sweetest time that you can experience a vagina.
Nice to see me.
You see now you're giving him licenses to go out and look for sugar mamas. This one.
Hey, bro, that license was in when I heard about menopause.
and girls that are like, well, let's use a legal age, 19. You know, going forward, apparently the sex is much harder. It's, you know, like you have to now get her system used, you know, the stretching and all that type of stuff. So the honest truth is that if you have one partner that you've been sleeping with for a duration of time and you are satisfied, you won't talk size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you understand? But if you go outside quite a lot, I mean, eventually you're going to have to start being picky. And which happens a lot with men in terms of body sizes. No, I prefer curves, I prefer this, I prefer that. So the world of sex will not have variety if you live with one person.
So
such
what
a
are we
logical.
saying? What are we closing this with? Size doesn't matter.
Size does matter when you are growing older.
When you are a legend, say it. When you are a juggernaut.
I don't want to put it as
when
one
you are the
size
king
fits
of
all
the game.
answer, because it's not the same. You understand? For some people, you understand.
Because you know, sorry, you know why I'm asking that, because some women out there will make a man feel bad, talking to your point that, you know what, that's where they will feel the most shame, you know, having that erectile dysfunctional, the size.
It's okay, you're now okay in life, don't worry.
And you start, and you see those things, you know. Funny enough, there's a soap that I was watching. So this girl was dating this guy. Yeah. Because now the guy is moving on. The girl starts to speak about their sizes. Why going tell them that it's for the 6-inch? You know what I mean? So,
but don't women use it to shame? Because
it's weaponizing.
Why sleep with a guy who has a small package according to your perception, right?
And you're silent when you're happy.
You're silent when you're happy. But now, the day he decides to not give you money or not please you or make you happy, now you have to shame him by that particular substance. I don't think sometimes it's about size. I think sometimes about de-emasculating.
It's weaponization.
Being spiteful,
Weaponizing. And not in all cases, you know. But sometimes it can happen that the compatibility physically is not there. And that's a language a lot of people don't want to have. You know, it's a conversation that most of us don't want to sit down and really say that, look, you can be physically incompatible. Literally. Like, I've got people who married like a month, you can go do the wedding, everything. Sex begins. 2 months later, I'm not feeling his body, I'm not feeling her body. They even go for therapy, they even go for all those things, but you just can't fix it. And you realize that compatibility is serious business in the area of sexuality. That's why my father always says something very key. If you're gonna marry a woman you can't get.
What's the logic behind it?
In other words,
that's how I felt in it.
Yeah. In other words, you must go for a woman that you fear to go for. Like the beauty must be so out of this world for you that even when you're going there, because remember, at physical attraction has a lot of value for men as well. And I can say this, maybe a lot more value for men than women in this regard. So if you see a woman that you know she's way out of your league, and you still decide to say, you know what, I'm going to get this lady. You play the game of chasing for a long time. But if you get a woman that's just normal, okay, no, let's date. No, that's fine. Okay, great. I bet you now, 1 year, it won't be stand.
But what if you chase like that? When you get there, that compatibility is not there.
You know, that's the thing about the mind. The mind, now, when you chase something you love, and you really love and you're passionate about it, you will first of all try to make it work. You know, you're not just going to leave it like that. So in most cases, when you chase somebody you love and they fully fit and everything, your mind is going to try and work to build it better. Like my father always says, when you're picking a woman, the internal, you'll only find out when you're inside. The external, you'll only know when you are chasing the person.
I think what you're saying brings us back to situations, Lynette and your ex, that you see maybe let's say celebrities that we know.
Yeah.
Having someone say, Jennifer Lopez is being divorced by this guy, and everyone is going,
how dare? How dare?
Who's this woman?
Do you think that in most cases there's a deeper
it's an achievement.
A
thing.
body,
Her
inside
body,
clothes.
her history.
Yeah, I'm just saying that. Do you think there's a deeper
outside clothes?
Yeah.
I can guarantee you today, a body inside clothes
Yeah.
and a body outside clothes, not the same thing.
It's not.
So there are these very curvy, nicely shaped ladies, that some men see publicly.
Yeah.
But the minute the clothes go off,
Oh.
it's a completely different picture. What you see outside might not be what the person is experiencing inside. So beauty will always be on the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah.
There are men that don't like big butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't. Like, they just don't see any value in it.
X is one of them.
It's really, bro. Like, when? Like, seriously?
I mean, there are men that don't like the
What a label. Guys, he's lying. Please, ladies.
Hey, we don't know. We'll
Yeah,
find out one day. Like, there are men that just love them slender. There are men that just love them, pear body shape, curvy here and thin up here. Like, literally, it's this drive that you need to be thick,
Yeah.
big butts and hips.
I think it's also cultural. It's racial. It's cultural.
True.
No, but it's
When you look at it from a culture perspective, and this is what I mean.
Yeah.
Spending time in KZN, Zulu women, like Makaya Zulu women, have this, we even have a term for it, unyathela ngabantwana.
Yeah, big.
Like thick legs, thick ankles, where we found that as sexy. As Zulu men to say, when she's built like that, and it talks to our conscious and our upbringing to say a woman with thick calves or thick legs can stand in the kitchen longer. That's why she's built like that.
Wow.
But I think now, with that said, I think now we need to educate. Talking to your point of that, saying that there are men that don't like big butts and stuff like that.
It's a preference thing.
I think we need to educate our sisters that you don't have to go to Turkey to get the BBL,
To go to BPL
and to do all those things because some men don't like it. You might go and do it and then still come face the same rejection that you got before you did them. And then what now?
100%. I've had so many, but in this regard, women that will say, I have been the slender one, I have been the curvy one.
Lynette, I just said that earlier. I'm not into BDSM, guys. I don't want to tie people up and put balls in their mouths.
So remember, I just want to say
domination
something
sex.
Yes, power play. But
ropes and all.
the thing around, if I'm actually going to take from where you're ending that, when it comes to kinky sex, you don't have to be into all of it.
Yeah.
You get to be into just some of it.
Yeah.
And please don't ever think that you evolve from the one to the next to the next. No. Yeah,
Can explore.
Type enjoy.
Based on what you're saying, and I like what you're drafting, whether it's BDSM, kinky sex, or all these sexual positions and so forth, the world of sex should continue to be sacred.
Yeah, I do.
And I think society has lost the sacredness of sex.
Yeah.
And that's where these conversations start to spiral in as it comes to preference. Women are now trying to change themselves to fit to the narrative of the husband, not knowing that a mind can change tomorrow.
Yeah. They might not like you tomorrow.
Exactly. There's this big case now with this guy, Ket Matala, online, and he had a wife who apparently she did an online video. She's like, no man wants me. But the body, if you look at it online, the comments are like thousands.
Probably guys saying, no, come here, we want you.
Thousands.
Maybe she just wanted attention, that's why.
OnlyFans.
Exactly. But sex can also be very sweaty.
Yeah.
Very, very sweaty.
What do you mean by that?
In other words, sex is an exercise, man.
Yeah.
It's not just
in,
the way
out,
they do it in the movies, and then you've got candles. That thing can be very performance oriented. It can even beat a cardio class at Virgin Active. All these
the people who have heart attacks. The people who die of heart attacks during that thing.
People get heart attacks during that stuff, man. So you've got to know what fits your caliber.
Yeah.
So sex is a world that not only is it sacred, but you are exploring a certain level of vulnerability that gets you to know a person. That's why when a woman, when it says, when he came into me, remember when you're having sex with a woman, you are going into her.
Yeah.
You understand? And so for her, sex is for women, sex has a lot of meaning as it pertains to the satisfaction of a man. So that's why when women have sex for the first time with a man, they will ask, did you enjoy it?
Yeah,
So
validation.
If you go and ask a man, if the question was vice versa, let's say, for example, the woman was to go to them, and let's say the man is the one that was, oh, were you satisfied to the woman? She'll be shocked to say, what? You're asking me that? No, I need to be the one asking you if you are actually satisfied. So the biggest issue is that women have a narrative that satisfaction of sex is only for the man.
Much like we were saying earlier, Lynette.
It's a serving.
Self-sacrificing.
And remember, it's not like women sit and think, oh, I'm going to self-sacrifice right now. You know, oh, the 5 ways in which I can do this.
We don't mind.
Please do. No, healthy men don't want women to sacrifice themselves in that way.
Yes.
Unhealthy men.
I love what you said. Healthy men.
Healthy men. Healthy men. Healthy men save society. And healthy men saves women. You know, it's if you think of something, I know it's deterring a little bit, but with sexual trauma for women, if there is a guy that was healthy and safe to you and that helped you or held you or was there for you after, your recovery is so much faster.
True.
Yeah.
So much faster. And now I can't remember what I wanted to say.
You know,
Healthy men.
I'm gonna throw something in there. So we know, for example, a woman's vagina, right? There are different shapes, sizes of
types. Yeah.
And let's just say not the vagina, the covering of the vagina, which is the lips.
Yeah.
So men see that and they believe that's the vagina, and it's actually not. It's actually just the covering of the vagina. And so they deem by how beautiful it looks or how big it looks or how they deem the sexual experience on that.
Oh yeah.
Not knowing that you actually have to get to the actual, vagina, which is the pathway inside. And so what a woman looks like in terms of the fitment of the lips does not dictate the performance.
Yeah.
And this is something that's very important because some women,
like with us, size thing.
Yes.
Just because it's big doesn't mean it can dig.
It doesn't mean there are guys who are not necessarily big down there, but they know how to shift that body around so that they can get the best out of it. And you'll find there's some guy who's big outside there, but does not necessarily drive the satisfaction that the woman wants. So there needs to be that talk to say that sometimes what you see is not what you get. And a lot of us think that if we see big buttocks, we see big lips, vaginal lips, we see a big penis, we see big breasts, there's real satisfaction there. And the truth of life is that it's not the truth. There are men that can perform. I mean, I met a lady who could do 8 rounds. You understand?
I want to ask how you found out, but no, not for this topic, not for today.
She was proud.
No,
she volunteered the information.
8 rounds, Rick.
No, she did 8. You understand? And
Well, they can, not us.
Remember, there are some people who are fit, like sexually fit. You can be sport fit, but sexually unfit. And a lot of people think that if you go to gym and you exercise and so forth, you'll be sexually fit.
The libido story.
So it differs with certain people. You can meet a chubby person that, I'm telling you, man, they can wreck a hole through the bed. You understand?
You just had to put it like that.
I'm just being honest because I want to be realistic to the people that are watching.
True.
That don't just look at body parts and believe you'll have good sexual experiences. It doesn't start there.
But now, how do we navigate a situation whereby, obviously, like you were saying, we are visual creatures, you know what I mean? And when I see that, I think, how do I then know that won't work, this will work, for the single brothers out there?
Well, I think it's the J-Lo for the single brothers, and you look at me. Come on now, Jimmy. Hey, it's the J-Lo effect. I would think, like you were saying. Mm-hmm. How do we find celebrities dumping a woman like her? Mm-hmm. There's many others we could use, but it's that thing we have as gents where we're like, another man's trash is another man's treasure. Yeah. Just because just because you see her as amazing, some other guy is tired of her, type of thing. Mm-hmm. It's the experience, I guess. But you never know until you experience her.
But remember, libido is also based on treatment.
Yeah.
And if the language of respect does not get designated to the men by the woman, just as much as affection is not designated to the woman by the men, that thing can kill libido, and it can also kill the actual relationship itself.
Very much so.
So men view women's beauty also through the language of treatment. You disrespect a man, he might not see you as beautiful anymore, irrespective of the hips, curves, slender, thick, doesn't matter anymore. You don't show a woman affection, she will read it as this person does not love me, and her body might not work. Because remember, a woman's mind is involved in sex. It's not like a man's mind. The minute you penetrate, you feel the warmth of the woman, you're already on cloud 9.
That's why they say we got two heads.
Exactly.
Wow. So there's a thing around, there has to be a distinguishing factor between this is something I just want to have sex with and this is something I want to marry. There's a massive distinction. You don't have the same criteria. So if I just want to have sex with you, I'm going to most likely look at what you look like. But if I want to marry you, my criteria has upped significantly. So there's that distinction.
How you treat me, how you make me feel.
And your values and your life philosophy and compatibility and your emotional attunement and are you girlfriend, are you not, am I, can we different criteria, right? And so that's really important to know for both men and women. Women are, because they're so security orientated.
Feeling safe.
Yeah, there can be for them something else there. Between women, amongst women, we will talk easily around, this is somebody, now I don't even know if I can use this word, but this is fuckable and this is married.
Well done, you are welcome.
Yes.
Put it laid on thick.
It's
Excuse the pun.
It's not like we don't have those conversations. We do, you just don't know about it.
Wait, women have that conversation?
Yes.
And Lynette is right.
Yes.
Big time.
There's this thing that says, you know how I think we were talking about it the other time, where we're like, a woman can walk into a room within the first 3 minutes. They know who they can sleep with in a restaurant like this.
Wow.
Just by looking. And that's how deep it can be for women.
Really? That does happen?
If you want, so it has to do with your attunement.
Sorry, Jimmy.
We'll come back.
So how you are attuned, and that's an important thing. So it's got to do with attunement.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is that Lynette is right, because you get people asking that why do guys don't they marry the women that they party with? They never do.
Yeah, because they know, you know the woman's life.
To the detriment.
You know what I mean? So they don't do that. They'll go and party with them and then go back to their wives at home.
So basically you're saying it's fine as long as you don't take it there.
Yeah, no, you've got your wife at home.
You're advising me here, Jimmy. You're advising me. Be careful.
Go home.
You're advising me.
But now wives also get really impacted, because remember, women they have a sense of, I am signed to this one man only, especially in the confines of marriage. Because when they get married, they believe loyalty, trust, all these factors are put in there. So when a man goes and cheat on her, there's that sense of, what was I missing?
Self-worth issues.
Like my body was not fit enough. Did I not speak right to him? Like they get into that mode of that, and not realizing that most of it has nothing to do with themselves.
But sexuality is men.
It's that sexuality of men that needs to be also learned, because that safe thing comes in now to say, is she sexually safe with you, because you can sexually perform, but the woman still does not feel safe. And you can sexually perform and the woman feels safe and be loyal to the relationship, and that's where that parting thing comes in.
So I can't choke her. Is that taking away the safety?
I heard some women love the choking
factor.
Sorry, it's that side of me, guys.
You end up killing someone.
You know, I'm telling
But she said, "Go on, choke me, choke
Show
me."
someone who's got asthma and stuff.
Some women love it. I hear.
Oh, you had to throw that in there. You hear?
Yeah.
It is a thing. Sorry, Rick. You were finishing your point. You took me there, my man.
I know Lynette wants to say something.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to actually bring to you guys is the fact that there's no one-size-fits-all answer as it pertains to women per se.
Yeah.
Because with men, it's I want to get a woman, she lives with me, marry her, satisfies me, I provide, I make a family, and I'm done.
Yeah.
But with the woman, she doesn't look at marriage for that only. You know, there's also many other factors that drives her libido in sex when it comes to marriage. Because she can come in there and you become broke after you're married and her libido goes down. I'm telling you, there are women today with their libido in marriage.
It's done because
wait, you want to sleep with me?
and that's a
with what
sensitive
money?
one. You know, being broke, guys, is not.
I know it's sensitive, but women see money as an area of safety.
Yeah, true.
It is.
You know,
It's a
some men
safety
say,
tool.
and I know he was
Even
joking.
men, Rick, just before you go on with the point, even men, they do that. These days, you find men that go for women with money.
Yes.
Because women support them.
Balance.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Some guy said if monkeys had money on the mountain, women would be there. It's a very bad joke. You understand?
Hey, it ain't no joke. We're seeing it in real life.
It's actually that.
So I was taken to a workshop, and the couples had to walk forward, and there was a whiteboard, and with a bunch of values on it, and sex was there, money was there, and some other really wonderful things: respect, communication, whatever, elements of a relationship. And the wife had to tick the 3 most important ones for her, and the husband had to tick the 3 most important ones for him. And women by far ticked money.
Yeah.
It was actually quite funny, but yes, it's about the security thing. Not to say women are only, some women are money driven as much as some men are money driven. It just manifests differently. But so yes, it is a thing. And for men, perhaps it's more an ego thing, and for women, a stability thing. But that it plays a role big time.
Hey, brokenness,
Brokenness. Maybe in the low earning times, maybe the male needed to just substantiate that ego, and maybe in the low earning times he actually can't because his ego is doing so badly, but he can't face another rejection. He's shy, he's ashamed. It's a complicated structure.
I think we must have an episode about how broke men are treated out there.
I'm telling you.
Right?
And you must remember
They're gonna make people cry.
that when it comes to money, I can tell you today, I've seen more marriages die because of the lack of that thing. However, it's not the lack that makes the marriage die. It's the inability of the couple to strategize to get more money in the marriage. So we then use ourselves as combat to fight that particular problem. But here's the thing. Sex in and of itself, the reason why the libido goes down for the woman is because of the safety factor. Now, a woman can be highly sexually driven when there's money in the household. The minute the money goes, fear kicks in, which also hits on the sex drive of the woman. So she starts overthinking and sex becomes the last option. Exactly. Because survival now is very important now. And to you, your survival is sex. You need to bring your testosterone to a nice level so you can go out there and conquer the world. But
that's why broke guys have so much sex.
That's
because they're distressing.
Can I just add something there? So in a household, say we take the money away.
Yes.
And we just disregard, or not disregard, but we just set it aside for a little bit. My husband can earn, I don't actually care how much, but I want him to have sex with me. And so I want him to be able to see if I've had my nails done. I want him to see me.
Yes.
And And sure, it could be a really wonderful motivator if he's funding a beautiful life and all of those things. And then, I will most likely be more prone, more open to having sex for it with him, but it's going to be for him and for security. It's not going to be for emotional connection. It's not going to be for fulfillment. It's just going to be to not lose what I have. To make it richer for me, I really want him to see me.
Wow.
And so if he slaps my ass just when he wants to have sex, that will do nothing for me. In fact, I'll be annoyed. I will turn on you. So there is also a value of seeing one another in between. So for the wife, she could show appreciation towards her husband for whatever. It doesn't have to be the main income earner. She can show appreciation for whatever. And he can show, but I see you, not just what your body can give me.
Isn't this also because of background? Because background also plays a vital role.
The relationship.
If you come from a household of poverty, you will regard money as everything. And that's why the fear comes in, because now that trauma that kicked in when you're at home, now you don't want to see it in your marriage. So it also hits everything, your sex drive and so forth, and you no longer function. So I can positively say that maybe one of the reasons why a libido drops in a woman when the husband doesn't have money is because she comes from also a poverty mentality and household state.
Poverty mentality.
It can be one of them as well. Because I don't want to live in that lifestyle again. I don't want to lack again. I don't want to do all this. So look, you got to do something, and I can't give you what you need.
And it's worse when you have, she has tasted the good life that you've introduced to her.
Maybe it's more prominent amongst black women, because black women, white women, Indian women, colored women don't function the same.
True.
What I've realized in my life is that colored women, whether poverty or not, sex seems to be very enjoyed in that particular area from the couples I've come across. When you deal with white females, I think she'll explain for us, but what I've noticed, counseling them, it seems to be dependent on who you married. When you deal with the Indian woman, it's similar to the black woman. Spices. Because I really...
Disclaimer, that was Jimmy, not me.
Jimmy's one. And that's good for digestion. Very good for digestion. One of the things, you spoke about hygiene in one of the conversations we spoke about prior. Hygiene is important during sex, whether male or female, but in particular, the female.
Big time.
Very important.
Big time.
If that area is not...
You just know before you reach the mountain that
you want to go
there's
to
a storm
manicure
coming.
garden. You don't want to go hacking.
No PTSM there.
A forest.
If things
A forest won't work.
Why am I coming in with wood chippers and
a vagina it's not far from the anus. That's one thing you need to know. So sometimes, I get men that come in and
he's left you with that image.
That image is like, every time I have sex with my wife, man, I remember she went to the bathroom, but didn't do a good job. And she came back excited. You understand? Excited about, let's continue.
I don't want your profession.
No. I don't want to hear such stories.
I don't want your profession.
I'm pretty sure you've heard some strange ones. But ultimately,
but in that scenario, how difficult it is for you as a man to tell her that it didn't do a good job?
Impossible.
No, subtle. So one of my friends, she's got a thing. I think a thing we're finding, and when she leaves the bathwater in, her husband knows on, and so there's
the tough one.
Men are quite honest with me, so that's really nice.
Bathwater's on. She knows what she's doing.
She knows what she's doing.
That's a good cue.
She knows what she's doing. You have to. Where there is concerns, it's a really difficult thing to bring them to the table because it's sensitive. How are you going to do this? But your desire is going to suffer if you don't. It's just how to do this safely. You've got to find little rituals.
Subtle.
You use the word rituals. Like you've got to bring in some rituals, especially if you know, this person is not great at that. But if they're not great at that, I'm wondering about some other things too.
Yeah.
Wondering at cultural elements. I'm wondering about this. I'm wondering, does she even want it? No, didn't think about it that way.
So she can leave a feces.
It's not always feces.
No,
it's
but
sometimes toilet paper.
but
I'm
if-
so sorry to say, but
I was about to go there. I was like, what is that white thing
but-
there? No.
But Rick, if she came back excited and say, hey, let's continue.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to kill that one because you know a little.
So you're gonna continue.
Hi, Baba.
It's
You know what?
something called
I'm
Exactly.
yeah. I'm gonna close it on this note, guys.
Yeah.
Some of us are very, very explorative, and we don't want to discover white things.
No.
Whenever someone is facing the other
How
way, and you
explorative
are
are
also
you?
facing that way, and you're like, hey, what is that?
But you know what? There's what we call cunning lust, right? I'm sure you might know what it
Yep.
is. So, or what we call going down with your mouth on the woman.
Most definitely.
Now, you can imagine if you slip up. You understand?
Why are you taking me there?
No,
Rick?
you know,
Oh no! When? How did I get there?
you understand? But that's what I'm trying to say. Well, we need to be honest about this situation because it's happening in bedrooms, right?
Yes.
Where some guys go and they slip up, and
Yeah.
and they realize that what I think.
You didn't do a good job, baby. Guys, you know what? In the interest of time and seeing that this is a powerful topic, we Oh, this is why I love Roundtable. This is why I love Roundtable. But thank you again, Rick, for your amazing insights. Lynette, you're just a jewel. Thank you so much. A rose amongst the thorns. Jimmy, as always, my man. You held it down. You threw me there under the bus. I'll still keep going under. Don't worry. Ultimately, though, that was another session of Roundtable. Sexuality explored, challenges that you might be facing, but most importantly, we hope that you learned something. You're taking home something to you and yours to be able to discuss some of these things and find solutions rather than looking out there for a third party or maybe even destroying something beautiful that has been God-given. So find that solution, watch us more. We are dedicating ourselves to give you more information and edutaining you. Again, Roundtable Redemption X, we love you guys. Remember to like, follow us, and subscribe. And keep in mind, we're still here at Kataplana, and we're loving it. You need to come take a round and just, enjoy the scenery. I wish I could just show you. It is beautiful, and it's such an authentic place to sit in with friends and family and just have a great time. Thank you again for watching, guys.